This object is simply a piece of another solar system.
I don't know. It's pretty stressful, actually.
Elon Musk just dropped bombshell news about Oumuamua, a mysterious object first spotted in 2017 that some say could be of alien origin. Now, this enigma is back in our solar system, and it's not alone. When Oumuamua was first spotted, astronomers were totally blown away by its weird features. This wasn't your everyday space debris. It was downright peculiar in every possible way. Imagine something long and cigar-shaped, so out of the ordinary that it immediately stood apart from the typical asteroids or comets we're used to. Some even compared its design to a mini jet engine, as if it could give itself a small, constant boost. This kind of behavior left astrophysicists scratching their heads because the way it moved just didn't line up with the usual rules of celestial mechanics. Now, as this mysterious visitor from another star system makes its way back into our solar neighborhood, it isn't traveling solo. Oumuamua is returning, and it's not alone. Several similar objects are following along on almost the same path. This cluster of bodies has only increased the excitement and urgency among scientists, forcing them to rethink everything they thought they knew about interstellar phenomena. The big debate now is whether these objects are simply bizarre natural occurrences, or if they might be engineered artifacts, possibly crafted by some unknown civilization. With every new discovery, the stakes keep rising, and the questions keep getting even more extraordinary. Even Elon Musk got in on the conversation early. In a move that mixed excitement with a healthy dose of caution, Musk confirmed that Oumuamua is indeed making a comeback, and stressed that its return isn't like any typical space event. For those who missed the first appearance back in 2017, here's a quick recap. Astronomers initially caught sight of something completely inexplicable zooming through our solar system, and everyone agreed it wasn't from around here. It came from much farther away. They eventually named it Oumuamua, a cool Hawaiian word meaning scout or messenger, which totally fits the idea of a visitor arriving from deep space. But then, just as suddenly as it appeared in 2017, Oumuamua vanished. It was seen speeding past the sun in a swift slingshot maneuver that left behind a trail of more questions than answers. Now, its unexpected return has forced scientists to dive back into the mystery on a scale unlike anything we've seen before. And this time, Oumuamua isn't coming back by itself. It's showing up alongside extra objects that share its bizarre traits, making it clear that this isn't just a one-off event, but part of a much larger and more complex phenomenon. The fresh reappearance of Oumuamua has sparked a flurry of observations from astronomical labs around the globe. Modern telescopes, both those on the ground and those orbiting our planet, started picking up a strange signal, a brief blip that didn't match the typical behavior of ordinary asteroids or comets. Observers quickly noticed that this object was moving at an angle that was totally off for the usual space rocks. Instead of following the predictable orbital paths that most bodies in our solar system stick to, it sliced through space in a way that completely defied expectations. Early on, there were even concerns that this odd motion might mean the object was headed straight for us, almost like a weapon launched by some unknown force. However, after running detailed trajectory calculations, scientists found that while the object is indeed of interstellar origin, it isn't on a direct collision course with Earth. Then came another twist that really got everyone talking. Researchers realized that the flight path of this new visitor was nearly identical to that of the original Oumuamua. It was as if the object were retracing its old steps, which led to the startling thought that either Oumuamua had somehow returned on its own, or that another nearly identical object had popped up from the depths of interstellar space. The idea that this might not be a one-time fluke but part of a recurring pattern has made scientists take a much closer look at every detail. Digging even deeper, scientists soon discovered that there wasn't just one such object floating around. If the first Oumuamua had been a random anomaly, you might have been able to write it off as a rare event. But then they detected a second object, nearly identical in shape and movement, which completely shattered that notion. Now, with multiple objects sharing that elongated cigar-like shape and behaving in ways that defy our conventional expectations for natural space debris, it's becoming crystal clear that something much bigger and far more significant is unfolding in our solar system. What makes these objects even more baffling is their physical behavior. They're long and narrow, kind of like giant space cigars, yet they don't show the typical signs you'd expect from comets. For example, when a comet gets close to the sun, it usually develops a visible tail as its ices heat up and sublimate into a glowing stream of gas and dust. In stark contrast, these objects don't leave any gas trails. They act as if they're made of solid rock. Even more strangely, instead of slowing down under the pull of the sun's gravity as most objects would, they actually pick up a little speed. This slight acceleration mirrors the behavior seen with the original Oumuamua. adding another perplexing layer to the mystery. It's not just that these objects are speeding up. The fact that the second object was found with at least 2 companions trailing behind adds a whole new dimension to the puzzle. Back in 2017, when Oumuamua first zipped through our solar system, the window for observation was extremely limited. Our technology only allowed us a brief glimpse before it faded into the cosmic distance. Since then, though, the capabilities of our observational tools have improved dramatically. Ground-based telescopes are far more advanced now, and several space agencies have launched deep space observation missions that keep a constant watch on the skies. Even private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin now operate satellites equipped with high-powered cameras that monitor the heavens day and night. With these advancements, the scientific community is now in a much better position to track these mysterious objects and analyze their trajectories in real time. Within days of the latest discovery, NASA and other international space agencies scrambled to design missions aimed at intercepting one of these puzzling visitors. Unlike the frantic and somewhat disjointed response in 2017, this time there's a coordinated effort to seize what many are calling a rare second chance. For example, SpaceX announced a joint effort with NASA to fast-track the launch of a probe, with the straightforward, yet ambitious goal of sending a spacecraft close enough to one of these objects to study it in detail before it speeds away into deep space once again. But it's not just SpaceX and NASA. Other countries, including China, have rolled out their own plans. And the European Space Agency is even considering repurposing an existing probe to serve as an interceptor. The fact that we're now seriously planning a mission to intercept an interstellar visitor, something once thought nearly impossible, has left many experts both excited and a little on edge. If these objects turn out not to be just random chunks of ice and rock, but something far more mysterious, it becomes absolutely crucial that we figure out what they really are before they vanish again. The possibility that these visitors could be engineered rather than naturally occurring has brought back debates that go all the way back to the first Oumuamua discovery in 2017. Back then, scientists were divided on whether the object was an asteroid, a comet, or something entirely different. Some even floated the idea that it might be an artificial probe sent out by an alien civilization, though there wasn't enough evidence at the time to back up such an extraordinary claim. With the new data streaming in, those questions have resurfaced with renewed intensity. One of the most perplexing issues is the odd acceleration observed in these objects. Normally, natural objects moving through space are slowed down or follow predictable paths due to the gravitational pull of the sun and other celestial bodies. But these new observations show that these objects are accelerating in erratic, seemingly inexplicable ways. Some researchers believe this acceleration might be due to outgassing, when trapped ice inside the object heats up and turns into gas, giving it a small push. However, there's a major problem with that idea. None of these objects have shown any signs of outgassing. There are no visible gas tails or sudden bursts of material, just a smooth, continuous motion that's hard to square with the standard outgassing theory. For Elon Musk, this lack of a natural explanation has pushed him toward a more radical interpretation. To Musk and a few others, the characteristics of these objects suggest they might be artificial in origin. Not just ordinary space rocks, but possibly something manufactured by an alien civilization. Yet, many space experts remain cautious, arguing that while these objects are certainly unusual, they could still be completely natural. Just the kind we're only now beginning to understand. This split in opinion really underscores the extraordinary nature of the discovery and hints that we might be witnessing the start of an entirely new class of interstellar phenomena. To truly grasp the magnitude of the mystery, it helps to revisit how Oumuamua was first discovered back in 2017, on what seemed like a routine day for space observation on October 19th. A scientist named Robert W.C.K. was analyzing data from the Pan-STARRS telescope in Hawaii. This telescope had been busy scanning the sky for asteroids that might pose a collision risk with Earth, when suddenly, Robert noticed something completely unexpected. An object moving in a way that was clearly out of line with the behavior of standard asteroids or comets. At first glance, the object looked like just another space rock. However, as Robert dug deeper into the data, it became increasingly obvious that something wasn't right. The object was moving at an incredibly high speed, much faster than what's typically seen for objects within our solar system. Its trajectory didn't match the predictable orbits dictated by the sun's gravity or the influence of nearby planets like Jupiter. In a twist that shocked the scientific community, further analysis of older telescope images revealed that the object had actually swung very close to Earth and was now rapidly receding. This was the first time anyone had witnessed an object from another star system entering our solar system, and it left everyone in total disbelief. Because the discovery was made in Hawaii, a place with a rich astronomical legacy, astronomers decided to honor that heritage by giving the object a Hawaiian name, Oumuamua. This name, which suggests the idea of a scout or messenger from far-off realms, seemed like a perfect fit for such an enigmatic visitor. Yet, even with this evocative name, the big question remained. What exactly is Oumuamua? Despite decades of research and debate, no one has been able to pin down a definitive answer, and the mystery still lingers today. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Oumuamua mystery is its rotation. Robert W.C.K. and his colleagues observed that the object was spinning, completing a full rotation roughly every 7.3 hours. This tumbling motion, by itself, is pretty unusual and has fueled a number of theories. One of the most provocative ideas came from Harvard professor A.I. Loeb. He suggested that the unusual acceleration observed in Oumuamua might not be caused by any natural process at all. Instead, Loeb speculated that the object could actually be a kind of military machine, or even a spacecraft built by an alien civilization. According to Loeb, the strange acceleration might be the result of some active propulsion, either controlled remotely or by pilots inside. Naturally, this idea sparked both fascination and skepticism. While many scientists were hesitant to accept the notion of an alien military probe, the inability to fully explain Oumuamua's behavior left room for even the wildest possibilities. Unfortunately, by the time everyone fully grasped how extraordinary Oumuamua was, it was already too late to launch a dedicated spacecraft for a close-up study. The object had already zoomed past before any probe could be sent to capture high-resolution images or collect physical samples. All that was left were rushed telescope images and hurried data collected in a very narrow time window. For many in the space community, this was a moment of deep frustration, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that slipped right through our fingers, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Even as Oumuamua continued its silent journey away from the sun, fading more each day, scientists were left wondering when another interstellar visitor with similar traits might show up. Years later, the story took another dramatic turn when Oumuamua reappeared, and this time, it wasn't alone. Alongside the original visitor were at least two other objects exhibiting similar sizes and behaviors. This discovery sparked a wave of new theories, ranging from the conventional to the wildly imaginative. One major line of inquiry focused on the physical dimensions of Oumuamua. Estimates suggest that the object is incredibly long, somewhere between 240 and 400 meters, yet it's extremely narrow, measuring only about 35 meters across. These unusual proportions hint at an atypical composition. To add to the puzzle, Oumuamua doesn't seem to be rotating steadily. Instead of eventually settling into a smooth spin, it continues to tumble chaotically, implying that some external force or intrinsic characteristic is keeping it in constant motion. Color, too, plays an important role in the mystery. Observations have shown that Oumuamua sports a distinctly reddish surface, a trait that isn't entirely uncommon among space rocks, since prolonged exposure to cosmic radiation can give them a reddish tint. However, the exact shade and the way its surface reflects light differ from anything seen on known asteroids or comets. Some researchers have suggested that this unusual coloration might be due to a thin layer of organic material covering the object, a characteristic more often associated with certain icy bodies in space. But rather than solving the mystery, this detail only deepens it further. Professor A.I. Loeb, who has been one of the more daring voices in this debate, went on to propose an even more controversial idea known as the light sail hypothesis. Drawing on his extensive background in astrophysics, which includes studies on black holes and the formation of the earliest stars, Loeb argued that if Oumuamua were made of an extremely thin, lightweight material, it could be propelled solely by the pressure of sunlight. Imagine it like a sailboat, but instead of catching wind, it catches light. This is the very idea behind light sails, a technology that scientists are actively developing on Earth. For instance, in 2019, the Planetary Society's Light Sail, two spacecraft demonstrated that sunlight could indeed be used to tweak a spacecraft's orbit. At the same time, projects like Breakthrough Starshot, backed by billionaire Yuri Milner, are testing tiny interstellar probes with light sails designed to travel to our nearest star system, Alpha Centauri. These parallel efforts lend some plausibility to the idea that an advanced alien civilization might have used similar technology to send a probe across the galaxy, possibly long before humans even had the capability to explore interstellar space. The shape of Oumuamua has also sparked intense debate. Early observations described it as long and cigar-shaped, but later models suggested it might actually be flat, more like a disc or sheet. A flat structure would be ideal for a light sail, because it would capture sunlight more effectively and accelerate in a way that fits the observations. Critics have argued that a flat object wouldn't necessarily tumble so chaotically. Yet supporters counter that if the light sail was damaged or abandoned long ago, it might have started spinning out of control while drifting through interstellar space before eventually arriving in our solar system. Perhaps the most provocative theory is that Oumuamua isn't a natural object at all, but rather an ancient probe, a secret emissary sent out by an alien civilization to silently monitor our planet. Think about it. We sent out the Voyager spacecraft decades ago, carrying golden records filled with information about Earth, and they're still wandering the cosmos. Now, imagine that an advanced civilization sent out a similar probe millions, or even billions, of years ago. In that case, Oumuamua could be an artifact that's been drifting through space for an unimaginably long time. The civilization that launched it might not even exist anymore, or they might have completely forgotten about their creation. Although this theory is incredibly tantalizing, it raises one big question. If Oumuamua were an active probe, why haven't we picked up any signals from it? One possibility is that the probe was deliberately designed to operate in stealth mode, saving energy by staying silent. Alternatively, after drifting for so long, it might have lost power or suffered damage from collisions with space debris, leaving it completely inactive. In December 2017, the Breakthrough Listen project aimed some of the world's most powerful radio telescopes at Oumuamua, hoping to detect any unusual transmissions, a series of dots, bursts of signals, or any kind of communication that might hint at an artificial origin. Despite their thorough search, nothing unusual was detected. While the lack of radio emissions disappointed some, it could actually support the idea that the probe was built to remain dormant or was designed in a way that doesn't match our expectations for an alien craft. Another intriguing idea is that Oumuamua might be a derelict spaceship, a relic of an advanced alien civilization's long-forgotten fleet. In this scenario, the object could be the remains of a once fully operational spacecraft that has long since shut down its systems, now just drifting silently through space like a ghostly shell. This idea draws a fascinating parallel with the defunct satellites and other space junk we've left orbiting Earth. Just as future civilizations might one day stumble upon our old, inactive satellites and mistake them for alien artifacts, Oumuamua might be a misunderstood remnant of another era. Even though these theories are incredibly provocative, many scientists still lean toward natural explanations. They argue that calling Oumuamua artificial is a huge leap that isn't fully justified by the evidence we have, and that while its behavior is unusual, it might simply be an atypical comet, perhaps made of a type of ice that behaves very differently from what we're used to. Even among those who favor natural explanations, every theory seems to have its own set of issues. No matter how you try to piece everything together, there always seem to be small but significant gaps that leave room for alternative interpretations. Some researchers have even suggested that human technology might have inadvertently played a role in the phenomenon, though this idea is met with a lot of skepticism in the scientific community. Many experts express regret that we didn't have the technological capability to study Oumuamua more closely when it first appeared. If we had detected it earlier, we might have been able to send a probe, much like NASA's mission to asteroid Bennu, to capture high-resolution images and analyze its surface composition in detail. Would we have found a smooth metallic exterior instead of a rocky one? Could we have uncovered signs of alien engineering? These are the kinds of questions that continue to haunt researchers as they prepare for the next interstellar visitor. In response to these missed opportunities, the scientific community has really ramped up its efforts to be ready for future interstellar visitors. It's now widely agreed that if we want to study the next object from another star system in detail, we need to improve our detection and tracking systems. One exciting development is the construction of the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile, a state-of-the-art telescope designed to scan the entire sky every few nights. This observatory will dramatically boost our ability to detect fast-moving objects like Oumuamua long before they vanish into the depths of space. Once it's up and running, we could be looking at a whole new era where interstellar visitors aren't just fleeting anomalies, but regular subjects of scientific study. Along with these advanced telescopes, there's also a growing push for rapid response spacecraft that can be launched on short notice to intercept these mysterious objects. One such proposal is Project Lyra, a mission concept that envisions using a powerful, rocket-assisted spacecraft capable of reaching an interstellar object before it slips away from our solar system's gravitational pull. The technological challenges here are enormous, since these objects travel at incredibly high speeds and would require next-level propulsion systems to catch up. Still, the idea of finally getting up close to an interstellar visitor is a goal that has truly galvanized scientists all around the world. Looking ahead, perhaps the most astonishing possibility is that the next interstellar visitor we encounter might not just be another weird rock at all, but an unmistakable piece of alien technology. Should such an object be discovered, the ramifications would be nothing short of revolutionary. Governments, space agencies, and private companies would likely jump into action on an unprecedented scale to study the object in detail. It would represent the greatest scientific breakthrough in human history, forcing us to confront tough questions about whether we should try to communicate with it or even consider defensive measures to prevent it from sending sensitive information about us back to its creators. The implications of these discoveries go far beyond academic debates. They force us to rethink the very nature of our cosmic environment and the forces that shape it. The idea that interstellar visitors, whether natural or artificial, could be zipping through our solar system challenges our understanding of planetary formation, the evolution of star systems, and even the potential for life elsewhere in the universe. That's why studying objects like Oumuamua isn't just an academic exercise. It's a quest that could eventually answer some of the deepest questions humanity has ever asked. When you really look at it, the saga of Oumuamua is a story of mystery, wonder, and relentless scientific curiosity. Its discovery in 2017, its rapid departure, and its surprising return with extra companions all remind us that the universe is a vast, dynamic place full of unexpected surprises. As we keep refining our tools and improving our techniques, we're getting better and better at catching these elusive visitors and studying them in detail. The future promises many more such encounters, each one potentially transforming our understanding of the cosmos. Reflecting on the progress we've made over the past several decades, it's clear that every breakthrough in space exploration comes with its own set of challenges and unanswered questions. The case of Oumuamua perfectly encapsulates this ongoing journey. It forces us to confront the limitations of our current technology, acknowledge the gaps in our knowledge, and strive for ever greater precision in our observations. With new projects like the Vera C. Rubin Observatory and mission ideas such as Project Lyra on the horizon, we're on the brink of a transformative era in interstellar research. But it isn't just about science. The potential discovery of an artificial interstellar object carries profound philosophical and strategic implications. If we ever confirm that an alien civilization once sent probes to monitor our solar system, or is doing so even now, the very foundation of how we understand life in the universe would be shaken. Such a discovery wouldn't just force us to re-examine our scientific theories. It might also prompt a major rethinking of our societal priorities and the way we approach interstellar diplomacy and defense. Thinking about these possibilities fills you with both excitement and a bit of trepidation. The universe, with all its mysteries and wonders, continues to push the boundaries of what we think is possible. Every time we pick up a fleeting signal or catch sight of an object that defies our expectations, we're reminded that our knowledge of space is still in its infancy. It's this very uncertainty that drives scientists and explorers alike, a burning desire to understand, to dig deeper, and ultimately to learn more about the cosmos we call home. As we look to the future, the saga of Oumuamua stands as a powerful call to ramp up our investment in space research. It underscores the urgent need for better telescopes, faster spacecraft, and more agile response systems to catch these fleeting visitors before they vanish. The challenges are enormous, but the potential rewards, in terms of groundbreaking scientific discoveries and a deeper understanding of our place in the universe, are absolutely priceless. In the end, the story of Oumuamua is far from over. It's a tale that keeps evolving with every new observation, every fresh theory, and every technological breakthrough. Whether Oumuamua ultimately turns out to be a naturally occurring oddity or the long-lost relic of an ancient, advanced civilization, its impact on our understanding of space will be profound. It has already sparked heated debates, inspired innovative research projects, and pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible. As we stand on the threshold of a new era in interstellar exploration, one thing is absolutely clear. The universe is bursting with mysteries waiting to be unraveled, and our journey to uncover them has only just begun.